How we doing? This is me just about to set off from home in Glasgow all the way to the Isle of Islay. Nice day for it. Let's see how it goes. How we doing? Things have taken a turn for the worse. Our bus has broken down just short of Inverary, and I will not be making my ferry at 1 PM at Kennaicraig. So no Islay for me just yet. Calmac will accommodate us on the 6 PM ferry tonight, which should mean I get my accommodation in Bowmore about 9 tonight. That's after leaving at 8 o'clock this morning. So magic, full day's worth of travelling just to get to Islay from Glasgow. You'd think I was coming from the other side of the world. It's just funny, you know, because we were also worried about the weather and the ferries being cancelled and the roads being blocked, and look at it. Absolutely gorgeous day. The good old CityLink running buses from 1954 or something, and it's broken down. Nice place to be stuck, I suppose. And at least it's not raining, so you can get off the bus and stretch your legs a bit. But we're currently waiting 2 hours for another bus to come from Glasgow to get us. So good stuff. Happy days. Cheers. How we doing? Finally, after what seems like an eternity of travelling, I've made it on to the Finlagan. And we are on our way to Islay. 6 PM ferry. The sun is starting to set. Apologies for the car alarms in the background. But we're on our way, finally. Cheers! How we doing? First morning here in Islay after an epic day of travelling yesterday. Took us a long time to get here, but it has been worth it, as you can see. Got a busy day ahead of us. This is the digs, by the way. Lovely wee house I've stayed in before, so it kind of feels like coming home. It's lovely. But yeah, busy day today. We have Graham from Lag over in Arran giving us a bit of a talk. Rachel will be doing the sort of formalities, the introducing everyone and doing a wee lecture herself. That'll be interesting. And then off to Kilchoman this afternoon. So excellent stuff. A lovely tasting coming up tonight too. So brilliant.
Then, so the journey up until then is all about barley. Then when we go to the mash tun, this is where it changes. As now the barley goes away, we're changing, it's like the river is taking a new course. So the barley, which up until this time was our important thing, this tangible, right? That was our thing, is now not required because we've taken all the energy that we want out of it, right? And we've put water in. So we've kind of changed the medium, if you like, of the carrier of the energy. The barley goes for a feed, and now we're focusing on this liquid. And this liquid is what we're going to work with. This is like, you know, so you've got the two fundamental things. You've got the energy of the sun, the energy of the rain, and the energy of the soil, and then you're bringing in energy of water. Right, so you're actually using all the fundamental elements of the earth to make your whiskey.
So this is Lag Distillery, and as I said to you before, it's based in the south of the island, down here. You can see here, geographically, where the Highland Fault cuts its way through the island. So you've got the northern mountains, southern lowlands, right through the island. Compared to the photos I showed you earlier, you can kind of see that Lag is a lot flatter, farmland, etc. There's a lot of historical, cultural significance to that, which I'll go into later. But so it's not just a case of it was an opportune place to build it. We actually chose the place specifically. It seems obvious, but I can tell you categorically that is true. Because I've seen it with full vaccinations and I've seen it with finishes. I've got comparisons.
for the 2.5 tonne for the rest of the year, because it's been quite a warm year. If you went to like August, even September, it was really warm. We were struggling in here to try and control it. It was just getting out of hand, growing too quickly. Goes up
the Pedro Jimenez Sherry Cask release, which we've recently, I don't know exactly when was it? About a week? When was it? About a week that we released. So what PX casks can overwhelm your distillate, your character of your whiskey. So we've used mainly refill Pedro Jimenez casks rather than first fill. First fill would give too much dominant PX cask influence, so we've used mainly refills. Again, this is 6 years of age, so relatively young. Both these ones you tried a bottle of 50%, so slightly higher alcohol strength, and that's because our whiskey can take it at the higher strength.
Now, Brichladi Distillery ask, Orkney, goodness Orkney, that way, ask Orkney to grow beer barley for them, then they bring it home here and distill it, and so this is your second dram. So this is Brichladi beer barley. Now this is a totally different dram to Richard's, so we're not going to mention the unmentionables of colouring and non-chill filters, we're not mentioning that, right? So, but what we're mentioning is there is none here, right? 50% ABV and clean as a whistle. So this is your beer barley. Now to go with that, you've got a shortbread, and that shortbread is made for me by Judith Glue. Now Judith Glue is an Orkney name, I don't know why, right? But she makes this shortbread, and it's made with the beer barley, and if you try that with your beer barley dram, it's perfect, because it's, I prefer it to normal shortbread, right?
In that declaration, as long as 100 of us remain alive, never will we on any conditions be subjected to the lordship of the English. It is in truth not for glory, nor riches, nor honours that we are fighting, but for freedom alone, which no honest man gives up but with life itself.
Yay!
that was the whole point.
And to toast Scotland and Scotch.
Scotland and
Scotch. Sludge.
How we doing? Day 2 of the Islay Whisky Academy Residential Diploma 2023 coming up. Today we are being picked up shortly, actually, to head to the Museum of Island Life over in Port Charlotte. One of my favourite places, actually. There's some really cool exhibits in there. And then it's back to the Gaelic Centre for a talk with Ron Welsh, Master Blender for Beam Suntory. And then off to Bowmore this afternoon for a tour and a tasting. And then tonight I'm hosting my own wee tasting where we pair whisky with music. So it's another fun-filled, packed day. And I better finish my tea quick. Cheers now, I'll leave you with a view.
You make sure it meets your standard for that distillery. If it doesn't, then you have the right to send it back to the original owner. In terms of if you're starting up, how do you put together a filling policy when you don't know what your new make spirit's going to taste like in 10 years' time? You've got a good idea what it's going to taste like, because you'll have made your new make spirit to be a certain style, you'll have made your brand to be of a certain style to appeal to a certain market or a certain category, and you would then start to put in your filling policy in terms of what cask types you're going to fill. So Lefroy and Bowmore came from two different backgrounds in terms of companies. So Lefroy, as I said, 10-year-old is 70% first fill bourbon, 30% second fill bourbon, and the filling policy at Lefroy is to fill that style of cask. And then if we want to change the flavour, change it into a different cask at a different point in its maturation. Hence the reason you've got quarter cask, you've got PX, you've got Select, 1815, Lower, etc. That's all the same filling policy, except you change this cask type for a further finish for the second maturation. Whereas Bowmore, their filling policy is 50% first fill bourbon, 15% first fill sherry cask, and then the other 35% are a mix of second, third fill sherry cask and bourbon cask. And then you change your recipe depending on what you want to do.
I'm traveling those days. Yeah, she said there's another dram that we're going to have.
Oh, wow.
You're not a quitter, are you?
And this one was ex-Heaven Hill. Heaven Hill.
Ah, okay.
Heaven Hill.
Distillery in the US.
So there
There's owls in there. So that's elephant sessions.
How we doing? Day 3 of the Islay Whisky Academy Residential Diploma 2023, and it's Independent Bottler Day today. So we have some of the lovely people from the Scotch Malt Whisky Society joining us to do a wee lecture this morning, and then this afternoon we are off to Ardnahoe, which was started by independent bottler Hunter Lane, of course, and then this evening in Pizzeria we have a Scotch Malt Whisky Society tasting with the legend that is Sir John McShane. So that's going to be a good laugh as well. Can't wait, going to be a great day. Cheers, I'll leave you with the view.
Our partner bars, tastings, and our brand ambassadors. I have a video. Here is a little video of an overview of a taster of what we do at Artisanal Spirits.
The venue manager of Glasgow Batteries, which was our first new venue in quite a few years. So I'll talk a bit more about the venues later on and a few other things, but I have just moved into, when I joined the society, I had a background in hospitality. I had my own bar, restaurant with my uncle and another chap for a while, which was a great experience, but I knew quite quickly, early on, that it was not what I wanted to do.
What we'd anticipated was that the site would only be used for casks that are going to be bottled imminently. So anything in the next year or two to be bottled, we'd come to site and then we'd bottle it. And as I mentioned, I think to companies that was more based on, like, we wouldn't be required to sample it and stuff like that. Things obviously happen and change. We're now on site, we're sampling regularly. I spoke to yourself about it. We're having to pull our racks up, can go to 25 deep, and it's very manual. So you can need to pull 23 casks out to get the back cask off. That's for example.
The type of unique spirit we're looking for. Yeah, an oily, waxy, unique spirit. Yeah, which is fine. They're peated, aren't they? Yeah, so they'll be wanting to get the abundance of the smoke of the phenols coming through into their mash. So it's going to be different as well. You know, but obviously with what the way you use it's going to be slightly different. It's going to be different in the Islay. New makes, but yeah. Use all those things. And then we're slowly play off and that. 12,500 metres, that takes us around about 7 hours to distill. So we'll get the low wines, they'll come into the left hand side of the spirit bin. At the same time, that's mixing with the 4 shots and the fades from the spirit distillation. These two are running in tangent with each other. Okay, so we've now got it balanced, so one distillation at the same time, spirit still and wash still. So we'll get see what's in here? The oil, the barley, it just went through the roof. Yeast. Yeast went up slightly, it's coming down now. Yeah. Yeast is starting to come down, to, probably July, it came down slightly, but we're still paying £9 a bag of yeast more than what we did the same time last year. But the malted barley nearly doubled in price.
And what do you see for pricing for next year?
It'll come down slightly, I think. I think so, yeah. I think so. That's what we're hearing.
Seeds dropped a wee bit.
Yeah, seeds dropped a wee bit.
Fertilisers dropped a wee bit.
Yeah. But as for energy, well, I've just signed a deal for the electricity. Our current deal runs out in March next year. So I've signed a deal 3 weeks ago. It's halved again in price. So for March next year, for the following 2 years, it's half to what we're paying just now.
And just to give you an indication of how the feeling about whiskey changes over years and years. In the car coming back from Ardenhoe, someone mentioned single grain, right? Now, single grain has become very popular now. It's almost like the new single malt. But many years ago, before Unfiltered, we used to have a members newsletter, right? Members used to send in letters for printing in the newsletter. And Pip used to answer these letters, you know, if there was a question. So one time in the newsletter about 1991, Pip answered a question from Mr. McCallum. He says, "Dear Mr. McCallum of Stirling, thanks for your question as to why we don't bottle single grain. The reason that we don't bottle single grain is exactly the same reason why we don't bottle bleach." And when you tell Pip that, he goes, "Oh, yeah, I know. It's how things have changed in 30 years.
How we doing? Day 4 of the Islay Whisky Academy Residential Diploma 2023. On my way out to the Gaelic Centre just now to get set up. We've got talks today from David Webster, geologist, and in the afternoon we are off to Bruichladdich. It's Laddie Day! Woohoo! Yeah, first time we've seen a bit of rain since we got here. But that's a kind of refreshing change from all that sunshine, you know. We don't have rain, we don't have whiskey. You've got to take it. Anyway, I'll leave you with the view. Cheers!
Temperature in the winter time?
No, absolutely no. If it's we don't get droughts, but if there's a dry spell, we still pump 1,000 litres an hour. If it's pouring rain, still 1,000 because it's coming up the way. So the weather's got nothing to do with what's coming.
Even at the end of May, June, there was plenty of water here.
Plenty of water, never dries up. And that's we're just so lucky it's here.
Yeah, for sure. And no exciseman controlling the amount of water.
No. But we do the extraction rights. There is a payment.
Yeah. Okay.
Mark went his ways and Simon also stayed. Myself is about 21,000 metres.
Take that in a big bag, you wouldn't notice.
Yeah. Oh, I thought we were leaving. I thought he was getting rid of us. Yeah, no, we got more.
He's trying to, but we're not for leaving, unfortunately.
Well, he's still getting paid.
How we doing? Islay Whisky Academy, Residential Diploma 2023, Day 5, the last day. Students are on their way right now to do their exam. Good luck to them all. And then later we are doing a blending exercise where they get to make their own wee blend. It's going to be fun. A blended malt, all Islay malts of course. And then in the afternoon we're off to Ardbeg. And then tonight, graduation dinner at the lovely Port Charlotte Hotel. It's going to be a phenomenal day. And what a week we've had. Lovely grey Islay weather today. And Lockendall still looking magnificent. Cheers all.
So I hear you doing this for you actually like.
Did anybody take a photo? It's interesting you say that. This is a real taste experience, this thing. This is about 59% ABV, but it's got a completely different smell about it. If there was ever a candidate for a distillery only bottling of this distillery, my vote would be for this, right?
It's more comfortable if you know where you're going.
That's a lovely job. Right. 2023 graduation dinner. Looked through the exam results. Everybody really high results. Everybody. So big hands for all of.
And the boy was sitting there, so it was fine. His son was safe. And he got up onto the pier. There was no sign at all of the dark figure. They went home and everything seemed okay, you know, everything was normal and there was nothing strange, and we're very thankful that they'd got home that night from the fishing. But about a week or two later, his son started to get ill. He became very yellow in the face.
When we award our students with their lovely IWA Diploma certificates.
I was set to head my course by the clear and hallowed sky. I was steered by the stars for wherever you may lie. By the guiding lights above to the